Why aren't you talking about Coco? Hey guys, it's JaaackJack and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another Zoe check-in and update. My last Zoe update that I did, I talked about the crazy month we had from March and the emergency surgery that Zoe had to go through and like all of the complications she's just been experiencing lately. It's been crazy, but as you can see, she's pretty much back to her normal self, huh? You are back to your crazy self. Oh, look at that face. Are you crazy again? Are you crazy again? You are? You are? Yes. She's crazy. She's crazy. She's crazy. I also wanted to do a Q&A because I know you guys have had questions, so we asked on Zoe's Instagram. If you don't follow her on Instagram, it's Zoe the Lab Pit. And we asked you guys to send in your questions, so I will be answering those as well. So if you missed the update on everything that happened with like Zoe's emergency surgery and everything like that, I will leave that linked in the cards. Actually, no, over here, I think. I will leave it linked in the cards if you guys want to go watch that and just get up to date. We still have our GoFundMe page if anyone wants to donate to that. We're still paying off her medical bills, so you don't have to donate, but if you love Zoe and you want to help her out, I'll leave the link down below. But again, don't feel like you have to or anything like that. It's just there if you want. So after Zoe's surgery, I mentioned in my update video how expressing her was quite a challenge because of like the stitches and all the swelling, and so that was really difficult, but luckily we got through it without her getting a UTI, which was so awesome. But it was definitely a challenge and I was like crying about it all the time. Once her, like the outer layer of stitches were healed and she got the little sutures removed, then it was like the internal stitches that needed healing. Ow! And I think she had some sort of reaction on the internal stitches because there was swelling. Like her stomach was looking good, but then out of nowhere there was like some weird swelling and like kind of a hard lump. So I brought her back to the emergency room and they gave us some antibiotics and that helped. So her stomach now is good to go. It's like all healed, stitches are gone. So she's good to go in that area and we're back to expressing her normally. Now the latest thing we've been dealing with is Zoe's very sensitive stomach. And so she's been having diarrhea this week, which has not been fun. And actually I think it's happened a few times since the surgery. She's had diarrhea, like little bouts of diarrhea, and I'm not entirely sure what it is, and that's like the suckiest part because I don't know what to fix or what to change because she's off the meds and we brought her back on her normal food and she was doing so fine for weeks, and then out of nowhere she just gets diarrhea. So right now she's just eating a very bland diet of rice. This happened just a few days ago. So she's just eating rice and then I'm going to incorporate chicken in it and then green beans and carrots. Like just keeping it very bland and simple before bringing her back to normal dog food. I think that's what we're going to do. If you guys have any suggestions. Oh, we did start giving her probiotics. So I just sprinkled that on her food and she was doing really well with that. But again, just out of nowhere, she got the diarrhea. So it's like a trial and error thing. So if you guys have dogs with super sensitive stomachs and you feed them like a very specific diet for that reason, let us know in the comments, because it's tricky with Zoe because when she gets diarrhea, she drags it all over the house. It gets all over her since she is handicapped, so it just makes it a lot messier. Are they barking? Say, how dare they? How dare they? We're filming. We're filming. They can't bark. Just want to squeeze their face off. Okay, let's just go ahead and move on into some questions that you guys had. So I'm just gonna pull up her Instagram. So the first question, JaaackJack asked, how old is Miss Zoe? She is 3 years old. She'll be 4 in August. August 23rd is her birthday. That's not like her exact birthday, but I adopted her, and the doctors, like, they guessed when her birthday might be based off of like her teeth, so they don't know the exact day, but they're like, we think like in August she was born, so you could pick whatever date. And I decided to pick 23 because the day that we were there, or the day that I actually adopted her, it was the 23rd, so we just made August 23rd her birthday. Silver Lily 61 says, what is Zoe's favorite snack? And if you know Zoe, you know she will eat anything and everything, so she doesn't really have a favorite. If it's food, it's her favorite. She loves eating blueberries, carrots, honestly, apples, green beans. She'll eat anything, even if it's not food. Like, she loves stuffed animals, she loves trash and paper. She'll eat anything. The Bully Life says, this isn't about Zoe, but is there anything leading to finding her friend Coco? So I felt like this was something I should probably address here on this channel, because I thought I had already talked about it, but looking back, I've only ever talked about Coco since like the break-in and her disappearance. I've only ever talked about her on my vlog channel. I've never addressed Coco here on this channel since the break-in. And so if you guys had watched that video, because I feel like a lot of you came from that video, like that was the first video you guys saw of mine, and you've just been following the journey ever since. So from that video, yes, obviously we found Zoe, and she is now paralyzed from the waist down after everything that went down. And Coco, however, we have not found, and we don't have any leads or anything like that. It's been 2 years now, 2.5 years. It's been a long time without seeing Coco, and we, like Johnny and I, we talk about it all the time, and we feel in our hearts that because there were sightings of Zoe and Coco together running, because when we first like posted like on the news and posted flyers and everything, we were getting calls all the time, and we would always go and investigate and try and find out. And we did receive calls that they saw them, both of them, running around by the freeway in the canyon. We think somebody had saw them and took Coco because she was a husky, a more desirable breed than Zoe, I guess, and kept Coco for themselves. That's what we think. We don't think that she got hit by a car or that she died. First of all, anytime there was any like deceased dog on the roads, we would go and check to see if it was Coco, just so if it was, we'd have that closure and we'd know what happened. But we did see dogs, but it wasn't Coco. But that's what our heart is telling us, that somebody has Coco, and we're just hoping that she's with a better family. I get emails and messages and comments all the time still about Coco, which is again a reason why I wanted to address it here, because I'm still, even now 2.5 years later, I'm still getting comments about Coco. So I want this to be the video, like addressing it. Like, Coco has not been found, and we have no leads. And I even now, like, I still get people sending me pictures of Shane Dawson's dog that he adopted so long ago. That's not Coco, but people are still emailing me, I think Shane Dawson has your dog. That's not Coco. There is another YouTuber, I don't remember their name, but they found a husky, and so people were like, oh, that's Coco. It's not Coco. I saw the footage, it's not Coco, but I'm still, like, even now getting emails sent to me about that. And the thing is that people don't realize how painful it is to be constantly reminded on the daily still of something that you lost and something that you no longer have and you can no longer like hug and love. And it's just like, Johnny and I just feel really helpless. Like, there is nothing more we can do. We did everything we possibly could, and there's nothing more that we can do to bring Coco back. But yet people still leave comments like, why aren't you searching about Coco? Why aren't you talking about Coco? Why aren't you posting on her social media? Like, I have nothing to share and nothing to post. It like really sucks, and again, we just feel really helpless. But I hope addressing it here on this channel now, it hopefully kind of like puts an end to those comments that we're constantly getting. And I know that they don't come from like a vicious place, like people are just genuinely curious and they want to know, but what I just wish more people understood is that constantly seeing messages like that years later, it hurts. So I just wanted to share that. Actually, the rest of the questions that I had here on Instagram were about Coco, so I'm glad that I was able to address that here. Someone else though, Caitlin Joy 123 asked, does Zoe ever try and walk without her wheelchair? So she only goes in her wheelchair when we go on walks and when we go outside and things like that. Around the house, she just drags herself, and even in the front yard, she'll drag herself, so she can like, cause she's built like tough skin, like these callus scars on her legs, so she can actually drag herself on the concrete or the cement without cutting herself. And I know that sounds like really cringy and painful, but it's because of the scarring that she has on her leg. She's able to do that. It's like the skin is really tough and thick, so I don't like take her on walks dragging her, but no, she can drag herself in the front yard, lay in the grass, do her own thing. And when she does drag herself, you can see especially her right leg. Her right leg is definitely stronger than the other. She tries lifting herself, and every time she does, she's on her knuckles, like of her like little toes, and she'll like stand, and there'll be moments where she's like almost standing, and then she'll fall back down. So but then when I put her in her wheelchair, like, cause she moves her legs when she's out of her wheelchair, but then when I put her in her wheelchair, I'm hoping that she'll move her legs, but she only like her, how do I explain it, like her muscles react when her foot is like back in the sling, and I think it's just like kind of the position of how her leg is, so her feet just naturally kind of kick. But when I take them out, like, okay, imagine her in her wheelchair, right? And then I take her feet out of the sling, so her feet are now on the ground. Instead of her walking and trying to like move her feet to walk as well, like kind of how she does when she's dragging, her feet will just drag, and she's like very lazy with them. So she doesn't try when she's in her wheelchair, but when she's out of her wheelchair, she tries to move her legs. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Polly says, what kind of food are you giving her? So because of like all the diarrhea and stuff, like I mentioned, she's just eating white rice right now, but when she does eat kibble, she eats the Cahoots lamb and beef flavored one. It's the one in the red bag. That's what she's been eating for the past 2 years, but I think I might be changing that just because this like diarrhea thing is just so constant, and so we're gonna have to make some sort of adjustments and see what it is that's like constantly causing this. And the last thing I wanted to just quickly like mention, because I know a lot of people have seen it already, but there was a story done by a popular platform on social media, a story done on Zoey, which was so exciting, and we were so stoked about it. But then once the story actually came out, and this is why you haven't heard me promote or share it on any of my social media accounts, the story was so disappointing, and it was such a letdown to see. Basically, right when I saw the video, I went straight to the comments to see how people were responding, because I was already kind of like, I thought it was told kind of weird, and then I went into the comments, and people were also agreeing, people who have never heard of Zoey's story before, like that video was their very first glimpse of Zoey and her life, and people were like, what the heck, this is such an incomplete story, like things aren't adding up, like this is stupid. Most of the time when they do their stories, the comments are like, they're all heartfelt, like heartwarming type of comments, but all the comments on Zoey's story were literally like everybody scratching their head, and that's not how Zoey's story should be told. Like it just was so disappointing that I even emailed the people that interviewed me, and I was like, hey, this is not cool how you told the story, and like it's so incomplete, and it left people scratching their heads, like can you take it down? Honestly, can you just take it down? They did not, and they were just like, oh, sorry you feel that way, the end. And so that was really annoying. So that's why I chose just not to even talk about it or like share it. But I know a lot of you guys have seen it. And another like huge platform that does a lot of these like animal stories and rescue stories reached out to do a story, and I wanted to do it for Zoe, but at the same time I was like, I don't want it to be another incident like that where they just don't tell the story right. It just made no sense, and they even added some additional information that I've never even told them, and I don't know where they got that. So it just was it wasn't a very accurate story, and that's what was so freaking disappointing. So when the second platform, or like network I guess you could call it, when they reached out and wanted to do a story on Zoe, I wanted to, and like I was planning to, but I was just like, no, I'm worried it's going to be another situation where the story is not told truthfully and fully. So I think I'm just gonna make Zoe her own video, and we'll post it here on this channel. Well, what do you guys think? I think that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, that is the update I wanted to share with you guys. If you guys have any other questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I want to do more videos sharing Zoe a little bit more here on this channel. I'm thinking of doing a night routine showing mine. What are you doing? Showing mine and Zoe's night routine together. If you guys would like to see that, let me know. Or any other type of content with the two of us. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video and it answered your guys' questions. If you have more questions, leave them in the comments below and we'll get back to you. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Zoe, say bye. Say up, up. Say bye. Say bye to them. Say bye.